Hello, everyone. Hello. Today I woke up to some fun, and so I thought I'd share it with you all because I think it might be mildly important to share what I found online today. So, for those of you who know me, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Gnome Pickles. I'm your designated internet hilarity technician. It's a true pleasure to see y'all. So, I have had a long-standing, let's say it, hatred of a man named Dave, who went by the Lord of Patriarchy before that channel got banned because of his constant use of slurs, and he's well on his way to getting Dave's opinions banned by his constant use of slurs. Dave will frequently make statements shout about referencing sex acts between men, constantly mentioning penis, constantly mentioning sucking dick. So I have a long-standing theory that the man may be a closeted homosexual who's basically using the rage at himself to feed his own bigotry and basically be a garbage human being. So he kept shouting, well, if I was gay, the left couldn't touch me, which is the most hilarious thing in the world. Sorry for the lack of intro. I'm putting basically no effort into this to kind of mirror the amount of the low effort Dave did in responding to me. This is me responding to a video of his in which he read my comment instead of responding to it directly like, an adult. Or the many times he's opened his lines, he's skipped over me to go to other people because he's probably scared of me. That's one time I did straight up to his face call him a bigot, and he screamed slurs at me and ended the call. So I sent him a statement saying, Dave, even if you come out as gay, people still dislike you for your bigoted and hateful attitude and point of view. Being gay does not make people immune to being criticized. I don't know where you got this idea. You have nothing to fear. You would still get negative attention from all of us. As you being true to yourself would not make you any less detestable to everyone around you. He responded 2 days later, okay, what the hell, I'll play, name me 3 ways I'm a bigot. I sent him 9. I then, last night, sent him, okay, so it's been 4 days, gonna refute any of my statements, or are you gonna admit your bigotry? 4 hours ago, he made an entire 8-minute video. So we're gonna go through that video, point by point, together. He's going to go through my points. I'll probably rage quit. And then we're going to openly respond to him. Because apparently this is how he wants to hold this conversation. Let's do it. Let's have fun, you petty bitch. Might even look at some of the comments on his video.
Okay, so normally I don't respond to comments.
Because you're a coward. Aw, we're calling me a jackass right off the bat. Okay, fun.
If I came out as gay, I'd still be bigot. I'll play maybe 3 ways I'm a bigot. He wrote me 9 just bizarre examples that.
Oh, are they bizarre? Okay.
Have I don't know. Anyway, let's go through each one of them. Number 1, you openly view women as inferior to you and view them as decorations and sex objects who only exist for pleasure. I might joke about that.
Coward's response. Fucking coward's response. Dave, it's not a joke when you constantly scream, repeal the 19th, anytime a woman says anything you disagree with. It is not a joke when you openly make sexual comments about every single woman you talk about. It is not a joke when every time a woman talks, or a woman speaks, or a woman looks in any way immodest according to your weird outlook, you start shouting, you're a whore! You're a whore! You're a whore! Like, dude, seriously? This is a fucking cowardly response. You're a coward. If you're like, I'm just joking. I'm just a well guy. I'm just a well guy. I'm joking. It's a joke. No, it's not, Dave. That is how you feel. We all know it.
But do I actually believe it? No.
Yes. Yes, you do, Dave. We have seen it. You have never spoken to a woman without using slurs, without calling her a whore, without demanding that she provide you with sex. You have flat out stated that in your perfect world, every woman will be legally required to have shaved nethers. You view women as sex objects, and claiming it's a joke is a cowardly response, and you are a cowardly little bitch. And you may be wondering why I have my little gnome right by him. It's to show even though I am a 2-foot tall internet gnome, I tower above this tiny little Nordal.
Oh. Do I view women as inferior? In some things, yes, they are.
There we go! It's just a joke. Do I view women as inferior? Yes!
Like, if a emergency is happening, like let's say a rapid moving fire, generally men are better at dealing with that and keeping people safe than women.
Incorrect. The reason you have that opinion is because you have accomplished nothing in your life, Dave. You are not special in any shape, way, or form, and so you have to have some way that you're special. And you're not special because you're a man. You're not special because you're white. You're just not special, Dave.
Now, women are vastly superior in dealing with the children of said disaster and keeping them calm.
That's your excuse as to why you've never developed emotionally, and why you work to ensure that you will never ever be trusted with anyone's emotional well-being, because you can't regulate your own.
Men and women are different. We're not equal.
We're both human. There is sexual dimorphism, yes, where men may have a slight biological advantage to building upper body strength, but that is a slight advantage at building, not a advantage in having physical strength. And the problem is that you take that and you run with it and you create this fantasy land. It's fucking hilarious.
Women are better at some things, men are better at others. As for I'm assuming he's talking about what I talk about repealing the 19th. Well, A, women generally make decisions based on emotion and not logic, and B, because they're more emotional than men. Now,
they're more emotional than men, said the man raging at a YouTube comment and making a 9-minute... Okay, well, granted, I don't really have room to talk on that one. But, dude, seriously, Dave, watch any of your screams and watch you flip the buttered fuck nuggets out and tell me you're an emotionally stable, stoic leader. Come on, buddy. I know I'm getting a little bit heated here, but that's because I despise cowards.
Granted, there are some emotional dudes, and they are fucking annoying.
Like you? Everyone makes decisions based on emotion. Everyone makes emotional decisions. Everyone can also make logical decisions. This is not a gendered thing. This is a human thing. We see people who are unable to deal with their emotions frequently have those emotions kind of build up within themselves until it explodes out as rage, such as with you, Dave, or it explodes out in unhealthy coping mechanisms, like your binge drinking, your constant binge drinking, on which you actually get so blasted, you pass out on stream. And we have multi-hour-long streams of watching you sit in your chair, passed out. And then we watch DeJuice Main, who is just a collection of red flags, not a real person, constantly go off on, oh, it's okay, look at him, he's fine. Like, dude, you are not a healthy man. I worry about you. I honestly don't think you're making it I don't think you're making it through Trump's presidency.
But it's also because men have responsibilities in this society that women are not required to do. And I'm not talking about shit like chivalry. No. Men are legally required to sign up for selective service.
Oh, we're doing the selective service thing. You know, the funny thing about that is that is a manosphere talking point. The problem with that is that it's a lame excuse, Dave, because there has not been a draft since I think the 1950s. Let's go ahead and look that up really quick. So, selective service system. So yeah, 1825. I think the last draft was like 1947. Let's see, or the 1970s. What was the last draft in the United States? We'll look that up. December 7th of 1972. I know it's the AI overview, so we're going to look at an actual source. What's the last military draft? Accept and close. Thank you. I'll accept those cookies. For the 50 weeks of the Vietnam War, 1969. I'm not going to sign up. Thank you, History Channel. Additional draft lotteries were held in 1970, 1971, and 1972. So we're talking about the draft, which hasn't been a thing for over 50 years. Literally has not been a thing for 50 years. The whole idea of selective service being this massive, like, oh no, men are going to have to sign up for selective service. We haven't had a draft in over 50 years. Let's not pretend that is some big stone on the back of men. And also, let's not pretend that women set that up. Men set that up, and patriarchal men set that up because they believe, like you, that women are incapable of military service. There are women who have volunteered for service, who have performed honorable service, who have done amazing things within the United States military. Where the fuck were you, Dave? There are people who went up and volunteered and didn't need the threat of a draft to get them to go serve. The fuck were you, buddy? The fuck's the manly man leader, huh? Because you can't sit there and say, I had to sign a piece of paper saying that I could be drafted, when the draft is something the DoD doesn't want. The DoD actively doesn't want to commit well, they might under Pete Hegseth because he's a fucking moron and he's starting wars all over the world, but the sane leadership of the DoD, who are shrinking because they're constantly being forced to resign, don't want a draft. They don't, because drafted soldiers can't be trusted with advanced equipment. They are not a stable force. So this is an excuse that you use to basically justify your sexism. And honestly, I'd be okay if we open selective service to all genders, and quite honestly, just abolish the whole goddamn thing, because a draft is not going to be a thing that happens. I'm sorry. Talk to anyone who knows anything about the military, and they will tell you that a draft is not a thing that's going to happen.
Women are not. If we want to be equal, they have to sign up for either the military conscription,
which is not going to be a thing that happens, but the military conscription, I mean. Fine, open up selective service, but then you'll lose this excuse and talking point.
Or they have to sign up for some other civil service thing that they would be called upon in an emergency.
Multiple women already are in emergency responder roles. There are women who are paramedics, who are firefighters, who are first responders of multiple kinds. I have a buddy who works for the Department of Transportation, and several of his first responder coworkers are women. There are women who don't need the threat of a draft to stand up and serve. And this talking point is an insult to each and every one of them, because they don't need a threat to go out and serve. They just go out and do it. You sit in your mother's spare room like a fucking child.
Frequent use of slurs. Okay, you didn't bother to provide any examples of them.
For any example of them, just open up any of your streams where you scream the F slur at me. You will scream the R slur at. You've screamed the R slur at me personally. You have inferred. I remember one where you basically wanted to use the N-word at Raptor. You are like, I'm not going to share that on any video of mine, because quite honestly, I don't want to give you the airtime for it. But literally, if you want to see Dave use any slurs, go to any of his live streams. He has them on his channel, Dave's Opinions, and just look at him.
But I've never actually said the one slur that's for gay guys to a gay person, it's and it certainly wasn't because he was gay.
I use slurs, but it's okay. I use slurs because it's okay because I don't say them directly to people. You're a fucking coward, Dave. This is coward behavior. You are a coward because you want to use slurs for attention and to hurt people, but you want to weasel your way out of your responsibility for it. You want to weasel out of it because you're a fucking coward.
Generally, it's to straight men and women, but it's because they're idiots.
It's because I use slurs to call people idiots. How is that better, Dave? How's that a defense?
As for retarded, I've never...
Which is a slur.
...said that to anybody who has Down syndrome or any other mental condition.
That doesn't matter. Use of a slur does not matter who you are shouting it at, Dave. You're still using a slur.
I say that to perfectly reasonably intelligent people because they're making stupid arguments.
That's not a good reason to use a slur?
Your frequent use of derogatory accents for anyone non-white. Okay. I assume you're talking about when they talk like this to about the person from the Middle East.
Yeah, kind of. That's one of the examples. It is a racist caricature. It is you being a bigot. Just straight up you being a bigot.
Yeah. But it's generally to make a joke and to...
Doesn't matter if you're making a joke, David. It's still you being racist and a bigot.
To prove their stupidity. But when I talk like this, lad, Patty O'Donnell here.
Don't do that. That's an insult to the Irish. I'm sorry. That is a shitty Irish accent. There's a difference between doing an affectionate accent and openly mocking people. Dave, what you do is openly mock people because you are a bigoted coward.
Is that cool because Irish people are mostly white?
Not really, because again, you use these accents to other people and to bring up hurtful stereotypes.
Or when I make a British accent or a Scottish accent.
These are things that you don't often do, David. You will frequently dip into ebonics anytime a black person is on screen. I have literally seen you do it. I have seen you do it multiple times.
Sure.
Hell, I've seen you code switch where you will just start going on about, where you'll start rants about black women. Just on your screen. Just incredibly racist rants. It is fucking wild.
Are they cool? And also, I tend to think anybody not white is mentally tough enough to take a joke.
This, I'm just making a joke, again, is a coward's excuse for being a racist. This is an excuse that people have made for generations, for years, when they make racially insensitive statements, is to say, I'm just making a joke. It's okay, I'm just making a joke. I'm just making a joke. You're not, David. You're trying to hide behind the idea of jokes, to be a little bitch, to be a cowardly racist who treats others as if they're inferior to you. Because you, David, cannot handle the fact that you've achieved nothing with your life. You're living in your mother's spare room, which there's no shame in that. This economy's fucking hard on all of us. But it's the fact that you constantly lambast everyone for it. You constantly use that as an excuse to basically hate on literally everyone else in the world and treat everyone as if they are inferior to you, and it is fucking disgusting. If you were honest about who you are, we'd have a little bit more respect for you. It'd still be in a negative amount, but we wouldn't hate you as much.
I love the bigotry of lefties that think...
Oh, I'm the bigot now, huh? I don't want to see you treat other people like shit, and now I'm the bigot because I don't want to see you treat people like shit. And I think your jokes are in poor taste. This is just you trying to defend yourself and say, well, I'm I should be allowed to say racist things because, well, people should be able to take a joke. Okay, Dave, take this joke. Your sister doesn't want you around her daughter anymore because of the way you act. Haha, it's a joke, David.
That anyone that is not white is essentially perpetually a child.
No, it's that we don't want, and I'm including myself in the non-white because I'm a Jewish man and so therefore only considered white when white people need the numbers to say, well, most of the area is white. As soon as they have enough to exclude us, they do. So, it's you have an excuse as to, this is just an excuse for you to be a racist bastard.
That has to be protected from mean words.
I'm sorry, I don't want slurs being used around me. I don't want slurs being used around me. It's not me saying people are children. It's that those words are charged with a massive amount of hatred. The F slur, I don't want to be called. I am a queer man. I don't want it around me. I don't view it as something that I want said near me. I don't want it used in jokes around me because it's a word that's charged in a lot of hatred, a lot of pain, a lot of death. There have been people who have screamed that at me as they've punched me and hit me, and I'm not comfortable with that. I can't imagine the amount of, the memories associated with the N-word towards black folks who don't want to hear that word used by people who look like you.
Your continuous narratives you will make up to discredit anyone who disagrees with you. You mean the facts and logic and reason I bring?
You don't bring facts, logic, and reason. You have basically made up stories about everyone who responds to you, David. Getting a drink of coffee because I'm losing my voice a little bit.
You can look up what I'm saying, bro!
Many times we have, David, many times we have looked up what you have said, and it's completely and utterly wrong. You will make up statistics and then quote them and then scream anytime somebody says you're wrong, or scream anytime anyone brings up counterexamples. You will also make up stories about everyone's life. When I have been in a discussion with you, and I mentioned that I work 50 hours a week, you said to me, why do I believe that you are, that you work one of those bullshit jobs that you don't have to do anything in? And my response to you is going to be the same as it was back then, and that is because you have to believe that. You have to believe that because you cannot believe anyone else does anything that is remotely useful, important, or difficult. Because quite honestly, David, your life is a constant stream of failures. I've seen you devolve over years and years and years of videos and streams where you will... we've watched your health deteriorate, we've watched your mental state deteriorate, we've watched you basically descend into this ball of drunken rage when you're not passing out on stream. We're 4 minutes in, by the by. I'm a yapper. I apologize. We're 4 minutes in, and he's on point 3. So, why do I think he's going to rage quit?
I'm not just pulling shit out of my ass.
Yes, you are. That's why your walls are filthy. God, that joke was fucking lame.
Endlessly discount the experience of anyone different from you in any way. No, I ask for evidence.
No, and then you scream when they start to give it.
You made a claim. You back it up, please.
I did, and I'm doing so now.
Or is this the narrative that I don't automatically believe a victim? No.
Dave, the only one who's a victim here is you. You are the victim here, and the person who is victimizing you is you. You have victimized yourself with your rage problems, with your bigotry, with your alcoholism. And I'm going to come out and say it, because I normally hate the narrative of, like, oh, this homophobe is actually a secret gay person. And quite honestly, Dave, I'm going to be honest about this. You're the exception to that, my hatred of that. You're my exception to that, because You bring up dick sucking and penis more than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. For proof of that, look at any one of Dave's live streams. Look at literally any of them.
Oh. If a woman says she was assaulted, but she seems perfectly fine.
Oh, we're going into, oh, okay, yeah, I forgot. Dave is a big fan of claiming that women make up sexual assaults. So let's steelman that. So a woman decides she hates a guy, so she makes up a claim of sexual assault. So she goes to the police and is like, hey, this guy hurt me. You know what happens then? Dave, they don't all just mount up and go, let's get him. What happens is that she's questioned, she's interrogated for fucking hours, where she's forced to describe it and go over it and to discuss it with them for hours. She's treated like a fucking criminal. Because that's how cops operate. They don't do well. Then, if it does go to trial, which is very fucking rare, it devolves into basically the defense attorney trying to tear apart her story, which, granted, is understandable because you have to provide a zealous defense for your client. But the amount of trauma that anyone goes through, like, people aren't making this shit up, Dave. I'm sorry. Like, this whole narrative of, like, well, there's false accusations. No, it's that you didn't really count your actions as harmful, and so you acted without thinking. And so, therefore, you think, oh, the actions I commit where I basically treat all women as if I own access to their bodies. Sorry, I just woke up, so my voice is not exactly great. If I act as if I am entitled to access to their bodies, and I, commit and I push a boundary, why should I be held accountable for that? Why should I be held accountable? Like, it's a premature defense that allows you to act creepy, and this is fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna press X to doubt on her claim, but if she looks like she's been beaten to burnt lasagna, okay.
Okay, Dave has this is showing that you have a Hollywood idea of what sexual assault looks like. So, a lot of people are like, well, why didn't she fight back? Because a lot of people believe, and this is Noam on his bullshit again, forgive me. A lot of people believe that there's only two responses, fight or flight. There is several, actually. There are several responses to violence. The most common ones are friend and freeze. Freeze is one of the most common responses to danger that humans have. Because if you can't run, then your body basically locks down and goes, oh fuck, there's danger, I better not move because if I run, it's going to chase me. It's hardwired response from back when we were prey animals. Because humans, when we first evolved, were prey animals. To larger megafauna. If we go out in nature, we still are to certain species out there who get revenge on us for destroying the environment, but that's neither here nor there. So a lot of times in an assault, people will just freeze. They'll freeze up. Their body will lock down. Their mind will lock down. Just like, I have to get fucking through this. I just have to get fucking through this. I just have to get fucking through this. And it's like. And it's because people like Dave have never experienced anything more dangerous than a job application or the concept of being out of beer that they don't understand.
Hey, probably happened. Also,
you have no fucking room to call anyone's count of sexual assault into question, Dave. You're some fucker on the internet. Okay? Okay.
No, I don't believe claims when they said, oh, this guy did this horrible thing to me. Oh, when did he do it? 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years ago. Okay, so yeah, sometimes it can take time to come forward because people are afraid. People are terrified of this attitude, of not being believed, of his word against mine. It's like, they're afraid of sexist assholes like you, Dave, being on the jury. or being the cop. Like, it's just not something you're equipped to talk about, Dave. I'm sorry.
Why'd you wait?
Fear? Fear of, well, because the way that the human brain deals with trauma is very interesting. It's very fascinating. So human beings deal with trauma in a lot of interesting different ways. One of the ways is justification. Is an attempt to basically scab over trauma, to scab over pain. Where we will basically go, well, it was just one night. He didn't mean it. It's fine. It's okay. I can just get through and I can keep going forward because your brain doesn't want to deal with it. It's a massive pain and emotions that is so destructive that it'll just rip you apart. And so you lock it down. You lock it down. And then you move on. And you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And then that person is like being named, like, let's talk about Brent Kavanaugh. Why were his assaults not reported earlier? Because they were both students. They were at a party. She didn't think anyone would believe her, and she finally came forward when he was being made a Supreme Court judge. Because at that point, she's like, I have to do something because she was brave enough to basically say, I have to do something, and I have to stand up and I have to say, no, he's not. I know he's not a good man because this is what he did, and he's never stood up and admitted it.
I mean,
and this goes to show also where, Dave, honestly, you're just automatically finding a way to discount something that's happened to women.
It's not for nothing, but if you want a conviction, you gotta move.
Even if you move, a conviction is very rare. Convictions are very rare, and it's a shitty part of our justice system. It's the way that we treat sexual assault in the legal system is fucking gross.
You endlessly shout down anyone different from you. Are you talking about the call-in thing? Because people do that voluntarily.
You're still shouting down literally everyone who is different from you. I've also seen you do it on videos you watch where you will start screaming, no, 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 start screaming slurs, and then stop watching a video about 4 minutes in, calling whoever is whoever responding to an idiot, useless, some form of slur.
People beg me to open the lines.
No, we it's not begging, Dave. It's the only time that your videos are entertaining, because quite honestly, you're boring. Because we'll be sitting. You have two speeds: screaming like a child, or watching a video for several minutes of silence while you pull at your beard and drink, and then it'll pop up and say something, and we'll kind of all forget you were there.
Outside of that, I have no idea what he's talking about. Your celebration of anyone different from you being hurt. I have never once celebrated. I take that back. One guy.
Oh no, Dave, you've done this multiple times. Anytime you not only will you celebrate people being hurt, you will frequently call for people to be hurt. I remember you were watching AOC speak, and you made mention of, hey, can somebody please shoot her? Can somebody please hit her?
Fred Phelps. I don't celebrate people being hurt. Now,
you do so daily.
Now, if they do something stupid, but they're going to be just fine.
I don't celebrate people being hurt except for when I do.
Yeah, I'll make fun of it then.
I don't celebrate people being hurt except for when I do. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. We're 6 minutes in, and we've got about 2 minutes left of his video.
If, I don't know where you're going with that.
You don't know where I'm going with that? I'm going... Basically, Dave, I'm going where you will routinely state that you want women who disagree with you to be hurt, especially politicians, and you'll say, no, it's just a joke. You have routinely said how you are happy people are going hungry. You have routinely said that you think people deserve their sexual assault.
I didn't. If you're talking about like Renee Good, I didn't celebrate it. I just.
Yes, you did. You did celebrate Renee Good. And when Alex Preddy got shot, you said he probably did something to offend ICE and that he deserved to be shot.
Said she faffoed. And she won a dumbass prize that cost her life. Maybe don't try to ram a federal officer with your car next time.
She didn't. She didn't try to ram anybody. It's been shown multiple times.
Fine. Your constant calls for anyone different from you to lose rights. Okay, what? The only one I could think of is the 19th.
Yeah, that's a call for people to lose their rights, Dave. You've also stated that civil rights were a mistake. You've celebrated the deconstruction of the Voting Rights Act. You are you've called for trans people to lose their right to medical privacy. You've called for birthright citizenship to be ended, dude. Like, this is a common thing with you. Are you not familiar with you?
Because abortion isn't a right, but I think it should be available up to a point.
Abortion should be available through all 9 months of pregnancy. And for those of you who are going to say no, does that mean you support somebody, 5 minutes before their birth going and getting an abortion? First of all, thank you for the stupid hypothetical, which is a tactic of fucking cowards. But yeah, because late-term abortions, you know who's having late-term abortions? It's people who find out there's something horrifically wrong with the fetus. Something that is not treatable. Something that is going to cause that fetus to be born in endless pain and then die. The people aren't going to get an abortion 6 months in, 7 months in, 8 months in, because because they just don't feel like having the baby. They're going in after choosing a name, after making a nursery, after buying supplies. They're doing it because they have to. And I don't think they should face legal repercussions for acting out of kindness. Because, quite honestly, I don't know what decision I would make if I was in the situation of, I was with somebody who's pregnant, and we find out 7 months in, the baby's going to be born with their lungs outside of their body, so they will breathe a few breaths for a few hours, and then die in agony. I don't know what decision I'd make. Right now, I want to say I'd push for the abortion so that the fetus is not born experiencing agony. But yeah. Anyways, sorry, gnome tangent.
That's the only one I can think of, but I also have said 10,000 times, good luck.
It's good. It would be hard, but it'd be difficult, but I think it should happen. So why are you saying I'm saying I think it should happen? Come on, Dave, are you not familiar with you, buddy? You've also called, again, for the end of birthright citizenship. You've called for an end to people having the right to protest. You've called for, multiple times, minorities to lose rights. You've called for, I think at some points you've even called for an end to gay marriage.
What rights am I advocating for people to lose?
Also, because it bears repeating, the right of trans people to medical privacy and to basically have control of their medical destinies. Hey, Dave, maybe you made this about, let's see, you made this 5 hours ago. So it's 6:02 right now, so that would have meant that in your time zone, it was 2 o'clock. It was 2 in the afternoon. And you're sitting there pounding beers at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Not a great look, buddy. Especially considering the beer you drink is not beer, it's synthetic mare urine.
Your reoccurring use of race is the only descriptor you will use to refer to anyone in a story.
This is like when you will call Raptor a black a-hole. For example.
If I know their name, I say their name. Now, after I say that, I might use the adjective like black asshole, Asian asshole.
Oh, see, exactly. There we go. It's like a boomer telling a story.
Asshole, Mexican asshole.
Yeah, why do we need to have the race attached? Huh? That was kind of like an add-on. That was kind of like an add-on on my list because I wanted to get a multiple of 3. But, so it wasn't my strongest. Ultimately, I made this list at like... I think I made this list at about 4 a.m. because I work 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So I was just kind of bored. But yeah. Dave, if I can pull this out of my behind in like 20 seconds, you might be a bigot.
But if the only description of a person I have...
You can just call him an asshole. Why do you have to bring up the race? That's an honest question, Dave.
Is that it was a unidentified black male? Yeah, that's all I got to go on.
You can just say asshole. Like, for example, Dave, I think you are a absolute loser who has no skills, no redeeming qualities, and are an alcoholic bigot. Notice how I didn't have to say that you're white?
2, it's kind of in the description. Like Barack Obama. I frequently use him as the example to prove the country isn't racist.
We had a black president, that means racism is over. Is the stupidest statement by the stupidest people.
He's a black man, elected to the presidency. Not once, but twice, and neither election were close.
Yeah, and then we had people walking around with signs of him photoshopped onto African tribal figures. We had people constantly shouting, "Show me the birth certificate," because we had, including the person that you celebrate, Donald Trump, who was a massive birther. We have, dude, if we're going to talk about Obama, we need to talk about your side's reaction to Obama. Because, dear Lord. I'm not even the biggest fan of Obama. I honestly, my problem with Obama and a lot of Democrats is that basically they are Republicans with a little bit of better branding, because they basically push very similar ideas. They just don't go as far into the halls of crazy. They'll slap a rainbow sticker on the drone bombing brown people and say, look, we're celebrating queer people. We put a rainbow sticker on the tank. Get fucked. You're still committing genocide. How are you going to dismount, Dave? You got 14 seconds, baby.
Shall I go on? This list is Legion. Okay, whatever. Yeah, sure. If you want to try again, you can give me 9 more reasons. Go for it.
Aw, you try to dismount. Clever, cute. Let's go over the comments. David, if a rapidly moving fire broke out, you would not make it. You waddle everywhere. I love it. There's some emotional dudes that are fucking annoying. Wonder who that could be, Dave. Ha! We give a thumbs up to Olton. To one to Carlton. It's always hilarious to me that you call women too emotional and crash out over basically nothing constantly, and you are everything that person says you are. If being called a bigot makes you sad, stop being a bigot. Damn. Boom. Exactly. Thank you, Phoenix. This is one of the few times you and I agree. I don't know why you lie about not being homophobic, racist, misogynistic, and ableist. If it bothers you that much, maybe change it. Hey, you act like a misogynist, pedophilic man-child. Doesn't mean you get to point it out. David A. Nordal, 2026. Thank you, Gullet. Bro, you are the most emotional person online. No, you scream and rage about everything. You can never keep your cool. Anytime someone gives you pushback, you cry and run away. There's a reason we have multiple spaces on Dingo Card related to your inability to control your emotions, and we always hit them. Dave, you are a bigot, and you are wrong about these things. You definitely view women as inferior. Use the F slur to refer to gay people or queer people or to deride people who are straight. as if they are gay with the intention of insulting or emasculating them. True, thank you, Kitten Cupcake. You use black voice whenever you're responding to black people, which is racist to do, and scream racist things in the process. True, that is a definite thing he does. You're wrong about nearly everything you say. You make things up, lie, and never look into things you say. You are wrong most of the time, proverbially. In a conversation, you don't allow sources that disprove your claims, and just shout over anyone who's proving you wrong. You make judgment calls about people based on skin color, and use one example from one of my groups to represent the whole, which is that's a thing that I really love. Anytime a white person does something wrong, it's, oh, how did the system fail them? How can we help them? Anytime any minority does literally anything, it's, this is why we can't trust those people. You openly advocate for the genocide currently happening in Palestine and scream how you want further genocide to be committed against every Muslim person. Oh, true. His constant cries of, like, Israel should kill Gazans. Ah, yes, I forgot about that. Deny the reality of trans identities, refuse to accept their identities. You advocate for trans health care to be taken away from children who need it. He does. You speak of women as sex objects, sexually harass women you see on screen, shame the bodies of women you don't fit your disgusting Western beauty standards. He, all the time. Threaten violence, both, oh yeah, he will constantly say that women need to lose weight, and it's like, dude, look at you, glass houses. Threaten violence, both physical and sexual, towards women constantly. Tell black women they need to conform to white beauty standards, which is gross as hell. I really suggest reading a book by Toni Morrison called The Bluest Eye. It really breaks down a lot of really interesting beauty standard how the beauty standard is problematic, because Pacola in there believes that if she has blue eyes like a white girl, she'll actually be considered pretty and her life will improve. And it is just this girl's just constantly running into racism and hate and just begging, pleading to be loved and to be liked. It will destroy your soul. It will make you cry like an absolute child. I'd say they look trashy, ratchet, or Yogi Do. He will use those words like gangbusters. Don't use logic to dictate your reasoning. You rely solely on your pathetic emotions, throwing temper tantrums and screaming at the top of your lungs every time you get angry like a toddler. You say women are too emotional, even though it is proven that women handle stress much better than you men. You advocate not only for women's rights to vote being taken away, as well as the right to bodily autonomy, 100%. You want to take away no fault of worse, that women can be controlled by men. And even if we still lived in this kind of extremely strict patriarchal world, you want us to take us back to, you'd still be a pathetic drunk virgin living in mommy and daddy's house. These are just the ways you're a bigot. Do you want to hear the ways you're a pedo next, or the ways you're an idiot? Or are you going to open the lines and actually have a conversation? Or go cry to mommy and daddy like the cowardly baby boo you are? When you do, tell them Kitten says hi. Good Lord, I love that. Oh, well said, Dave. You just know that woke pickle wears a dress. Aw, the juice. You just know your son is better off without you, DeJuice. So DeJuice Main has a child where his wife took when she left him because he's a creepy asshole. Dave, all of these describe you. You are a raging misogynist. It's clear you don't think they're as good as you. As far as them being more emotional than you, you rage at the camera all the time. 100%. So, yeah, that's the comments on this video, because I'm pretty sure Dave is going to dirty delete because he's a coward. Even if he doesn't, I just thought I'd respond to it in using the same amount of effort he did in his response to me. For those of you who do not know me, I am Gnome Pickles. I'm your designated internet hilarity technician. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays over on Twitch. And I hope that you all know that you are a lovely being. You are deserving of love, acceptance, and joy in your life. And I want the best for you. Unless you're Dave.